Well, it's time for the rigs and techniques here at the Parts View Workbench. And Dave, Kingfish in Texas. Yeah. I know I've done it with Chad, and I had the best of time.
It's a great time. You know, it's a great summertime fish to target. You know, they gather up in really good numbers in the summertime. You know, and Bing was saying that all those menhaden were out there offshore. Yeah. Well, the redfish and all that stuff are on. If you just go a little further offshore, if you get to that green, clear water, it doesn't have to be perfectly clear, but if it's long, you know, start to clearing up and get green, and the pogies are there, those menhaden are there, then the kingfish will come and they'll be on top of them too. And that's how you pretty much find them, is you go offshore, you know, 10, 15, up to 30 miles, looking for that good water, and, you know, carry a good pair of binoculars and look for birds attacking stuff, or, you know, fish exploding on the surface. Right. And that's pretty much, that's how you're going to find them. And once you find them, you know, you can catch 3 per person, but the possession limit is only double the 3. So a boat can only get 6.
I got you.
You know, even no matter how many you have. And you can once you find that little place where you see some action, you can stop the boat and chum and maybe jig a little if they're down deep, or you can try to catch some live bait, which is probably the biggest fish you're going to catch are probably going to be on live baits. And if you drop a sabiki down, you know, to the bottom, one of R&R sabikis down to the bottom, try to catch yourself a couple of hardtails,
blue runner,
or a blue, you know,
same thing.
Yeah, or even any reef fish that's legal, because they will eat anything. And if you bring that up and you put it on a live bait rig over here with some treble hooks on it, you know, that one obviously is made for a ribbon fish. Yeah. You know, you can buy those in a lot of stores sometimes. You put a nice ribbon fish on there and put these hooks all down his back and just let it float out the back. You know what? While you're jigging or something.
You know what Chad did?
What'd he do?
He put the ribbon fish on there, and as we were drifting along, he attached a balloon so that the ribbon fish would swim like this.
Right, yeah.
It was really cool.
It's great to have a balloon to keep them in a preferred area. But if you're just going to use a hardtail, just use one like this here. You know, a little good size hardtail. You can put one in his nose and put that treble hook back in his tail. Because all mackerels, they feed by taking off the tail of the bait. You know, they'll see a bait, they'll come smoking in, take the tail off, and then come back, circle back and get the rest. And a lot of times, you know, they won't come back and get that head if they notice something screwy with it.
So is this a 5.0, Dave? Or it seems like it's really thick.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's probably a 6/0.
Okay,
you know,
and then we have a
really big
here.
bait, but you can go down in size.
And 4X treble hook, eagle claw treble hook.
A 4X treble hook is what you want to use. And you can use anywhere from 4 up to, you know, number 10 wire, depending on the size of the fish that you're after. Now, a great fun way to do it is to troll hard baits, like that magic swimmer there.
And that's what we did when I went with Chad, is we put it on a dredge.
Yeah, or a planer like this.
I mean a planer.
Yeah, you put it on a planer and get down just a little bit. You know, they also have the PVC planers that a lot of guys use for kingfish. And put any kind of hard bait back there that will really vibrate. You know, you want it to make a lot of noise and vibrate a lot. 4 to 6 knots. You know, you can fish 3 or 4 of those things back there. Try to keep them even so that they're not staggered. You want them all even, because if you make turns out there and they're staggered, then they'll cross. So you want your baits to be perpendicular to each other out there.
Okay.
So and a drone spoon works as well. Put that on a nice piece of wire. All these you're going to rig with that single strand wire from number 7 up to number 10, because you know it's the teeth on a king mackerel are made to just take a fish in half. I mean, they're incredibly sharp. So you got to have that wire on there, or you're going to lose everything.
So how big a rod do we need, Dave? Is this Carnage?
This is a Spinfisher 7. This, you know, I like to have this is on a Carnage 3. This is kind of a heavier rod. I kind of like to have a really fast tip.
A light tip.
Because kingfish will just shake their head, and especially if you've got a bunch of little treble hooks in them, the speed at which they can take off, it's good to have a light tip and a strong butt. Right. You know, because just to give a little bit. because you have a hard time getting a hook into the mouth of a kingfish.
Right.
And if he takes off real fast, sometimes he can pull out. Now, when you get these things up on close to the boat, you want to have a good pair of gloves to grab that wire.
Right.
And you want to make sure you gaff kingfish and wahoos and mackerel fish as close to the head as possible, because that way you can control the head and those teeth.
Right.
When that thing's coming in over the side, if you've got it hooked in the back or the tail and he comes off that gaff, he's going to go head first into your feet.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want. No, you want to get him in the head for sure.
Good advice.
In the head. Many digits have been lost.
Yes, many of toes have been lost.
Fingers.